In 1597, the world held its breath as 13 Korean ships faced an armada of 133 Japanese vessels. This wasn't just a battle, it was a death sentence, or so everyone thought. Welcome to the Battle of Myeongnyang, a clash so insane it should have ended a nation, but didn't. The Imjin War had Korea on its knees. Japan's invasion was relentless, their armies carving a path to the capital. The Korean Navy nearly wiped out. All that stood in the way was Admiral Yi Sun-sin and his pitiful fleet of 13 ships. Facing them, a Japanese armada of 133 warships, loaded with soldiers and swagger, ready to crush what was left of Korea's resistance. Yi Sun-sin wasn't your average commander. He was a desperate genius, a man who'd been betrayed, stripped of his rank, and brought back from the brink to fight an impossible war. With 13 ships against 133, surrender made sense. But Yi didn't surrender. He chose a battlefield, the Myeongnyang Strait. This wasn't just a stretch of water, it was a beast. The Myeongnyang Strait had currents so violent they could flip a ship in seconds, reversing direction every 3 hours like clockwork. To the Japanese, it was just a shortcut. To Yi Sun-sin, it was a trap. The Japanese smelled victory. 133 ships against 13? They didn't even need strategy, just brute force. But as they entered the strait, the currents hit. Their ships swayed, oars tangled. That smug confidence started to crack. Yi Sun-sin didn't flinch. He positioned his fleet and waited, timing the currents like a predator stalking prey. The Japanese charged in, their numbers choking the narrow channel. And that's when Yi struck. The first volley was a gut punch. The Japanese ships packed too tight, couldn't dodge. Yi's cannons tore through them, turning their strength into a liability. The currents did the rest, dragging ships off course and into each other. It was a maestro of war. While the Japanese flailed, he directed his tiny fleet with surgical precision. His men, outnumbered 10 to 1, fought like they had nothing to lose. Because they didn't. Every shot counted. Every move mattered. Panic set in. The Japanese couldn't maneuver, couldn't retreat. And then, boom, the tide turned. Literally. The currents reversed, and the strait became a blender. Yi saw it coming. The Japanese didn't. This was it. The twist of fate. With the currents against them, the Japanese were helpless. Yi's 13 ships hit like a tidal wave, routing an enemy 10 times their size. By the end, dozens of Japanese ships were wrecks, their invasion dreams drowning in the strait. Against every odd, Yi Sun-sin won. 13 ships humiliated 133. The Japanese invasion stalled, and Korea lived to fight another day. It was a miracle forged by one man's brilliance and a sea that refused to bow. Yi Sun-sin turned a suicide mission into a legend. His victory at Myeongnyang isn't just a battle. It's a lesson in what courage and strategy can do against the impossible. But here's the kicker. What if they'd lost? If those 13 ships had broken, Japan might have overrun Korea. History could have flipped, and the world we know might not exist. The Battle of Myeongnyang, a clash that should have ended the world, but didn't. A story of impossible odds, a desperate genius, and a twist of fate that saved a nation. So tell me, what if they'd lost?